Okay, so in this video I'm going to have a look at Junior Certificate Higher Level Paper 1 2017. So I'm just going to have a look at question 1 in this video. So this is it here. This is to do with a person's body mass index, or BMI, and it's normally given by this formula here. BMI is equal to W over H squared, where W is the weight of the person in kilograms and H is their height in meters. So okay, so part A1 here is about Jerry, who is an athlete, and her weight is 77.5 kilograms and her height is 1.63 meters. Work out Jerry's BMI, and we need to give this answer to one decimal place. So just check the units first. In the formula the weight is in kilograms, and we do have a weight here in kilograms, and the height should be in meters, and our height here is in meters. So it's just a matter of substituting these two values into this formula. So let's do that. Well, our BMI here is equal to W over H squared. Now in this case our weight here is 77.5 kilograms, so we're going to divide that by H squared. The height here is 1.63 meters, and we've got to square that. So let's just do that out. If you do that out, you get 29.93. Now go back and read the question again. So you have to give your answer correct to one decimal place. So our answer then is going to be 29.2, because remember, if you look at the 1 here, that's one decimal place as far as here. There's a 6 on this side of the red line, so we got to round this up to 2. So it's 29.2 is her BMI. Okay, so let's look at the next part of the question then. Okay, so Jerry loses some weight during her training. Her height stays the same. Her new BMI is 24. Work out her new weight. Give your answer in kilograms, correct to one decimal place. So again, this is just a matter of using the formula. So if we take the BMI formula again, it's equal to W over H squared. Now in this case we're given a new BMI of 24, so we're going to put that over here. 24.0 goes here. We got to work out our new weight, so W is what we're looking for, and her height remains the same. Now our height was 1.63 meters, so that's going to go in there. So all we've got to do is isolate W here. So what I'm going to do here is multiply everything by 1.63 squared. So in other words, what I get here is 24.0 multiplied by 1.63 squared, and that will give me her new weight. So in this particular case, when you work that out, you get 63.7656. Now we want the answer to one decimal place here. So to one decimal place, her new weight then is going to be equal to this here to one decimal place. So again, this is our one decimal place here. So you got 7 here, but we have a 6 on this side of the line, so round this up to 8. So that's 63.8 kilograms to one decimal place. Okay, so that's part 2. Let's move on then. Next one then is to do with Alex and Joe. They have the same weight. Alex is 10 centimeters smaller than Joe. Put a tick in the correct box to show if Alex's BMI is greater than Joe's or less than Joe's. Justify your answer fully. So you got to put a tick in one of these boxes. So let's just have a look at both their BMIs. So let's take Alex first, and we'll put Joe's here. Now Alex's BMI is going to be, again using the formula here, is going to be W over H squared. And Joe's, now you got to remember here that Alex is 10 centimeters taller than Joe. Alex is 10 centimeters taller than Joe. Now again here, if you take W over H squared on this side, however, we know that Alex is 10 centimeters taller than Joe. So here, instead of, if Joe's height is H, Alex's height can't be H then, so I'm just going to rub that out. So Alex's height here is not going to be H. Alex's height is going to be, actually I'll just rub this out as well. So what we end up with here is Alex's height is 10 centimeters taller than Joe, so it's going to be H plus 10 centimeters. Now we're dealing with meters here, so if you take 10 centimeters, 10 centimeters is actually 0.1 of a meter. Divide by their 100 centimeters in a meter, so divide by 100 here. So actually Alex's height is going to be H plus 0.1. Now you've got to work out which one of these two fractions is going to be bigger or smaller, if you like. Now if you take fractions, if you take a fraction like, let's say, a half, increase that by 1 to a third, quarter, 1/5, 1/6, and so on. What the number on the bottom is getting larger and larger and larger, but the actual fraction itself is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So in other words, as the denominator gets bigger and bigger, the fraction itself gets smaller and smaller. So in other words, the denominator here, in other words, H plus 0.1 is greater than H. So you've got to square this as well, I should say. So H plus 0.1 is greater than H. So if we square it, it's obviously going to be bigger as well. So in other words, if we divide W by a larger and larger number, the fraction itself gets smaller and smaller. So if H plus 1 is greater than H, we're dividing this W by a larger number than we're dividing this W here by. So therefore this fraction here is in fact smaller than this fraction here. So in other words, the way you can write this is H plus 0.1 is greater than H. That means H plus 0.1 squared is going to be bigger than H squared. That means W over H plus 0.1 all squared is actually going to be a smaller fraction than W over H squared. So in other words, this BMI here, Alex's BMI, is going to be smaller than Joe's. Alex's BMI, this fraction here, is going to be a smaller fraction than this fraction here. So Alex's BMI is smaller than Joe's. So let's just go back and answer the question. Alex's BMI is less than Joe's. So this is the box we would tick here. This one here, and I'm not sure if I can do that here. Let's see if I can. Can I actually tick this? Yes, I can. So Alex's BMI, this fraction here, is going to be smaller than this one here. Okay, so that's it for question 1, 2017, paper 1, higher level maths.